I bet you can see the time on that one.
Kids ready for harvest?
Getting there. Got one quarter that's green, about all yellow. First one planted, so
The new broken field with beans and it don't look half bad.
that looks really good. That's the one that's yellow. That was the first one planted because it was the driest.
Well, one thing about it, everything's sure ripening
But the
now.
corn really turned.
It's crazy, that last
Good.
like
It
5
needed to.
days, the
There's a
wind
lot
and
of
the
wet
heat.
corn out
Yep.
there, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Yeah.
We'll be combining in November still.
The corn will be. I doubt we'll get done on the beans in October.
Sometimes it looks like
Iffy.
it
We're
lags
not
and
gonna
then
start before
it
the
goes faster.
7th to the 10th, I'm gonna guess.
Okay, call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think we do have one thing that we want to change on that agenda, or at least add to it. We'll have public input when we normally have public input, but Tom McGowan wanted to make some comments. So when he gets here, we can just go ahead and do some more public input later on in the
Okay.
meeting, if that's okay with everyone.
Part 1 and part 2.
Will that be all right? Yep. Okay,
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
okay.
Second?
Second? Okay, any discussion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And then we have the approval of the minutes, on pages 1 through 3. Are there any corrections, comments, or anything on that?
Move approval.
Okay. A motion to approve,
Second.
okay, and a second.
The one thing, do we need to make a mention for unfinished business that we, had to have a committee meeting for the capital improvement plan? Cause in printed, we weren't gonna have a meeting until first regular meeting in October.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we need to make an informational note that we ended up adding a meeting or how that works on the printed meeting. For the printed minutes.
That was
just a
That
separate
was just an
meeting after.
informational meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
where
We didn't
just-
have a quorum, we
yeah,
didn't take
it wasn't
minutes,
a-
no
Okay.
action, it was
Yeah.
just for information.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Disregard
Okay.
discussion.
Okay, so we have a motion, we had a second? Okay, then all in favor say aye,
Aye.
and opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay, public input, is there any public input at this time?
I have nothing to input.
Okay,
You are the public.
well then I think we'll go ahead and move on, and then when Tom comes, he can make his comments, unless somebody has something. Okay? All right, unfinished business, ISG CIP, adopt our final draft, that is our capital improvements plan. We did get our final draft this afternoon, wasn't it?
Late this afternoon.
Yes.
So I didn't have time to actually compare what I sent for our notes and revisions that resulted from the work session. But I suppose we could adopt it contingent upon those.
Okay,
The state needs it adopted. The deadline for the state project is September 30th. So
Sure.
this is our last regular meeting to get it adopted.
We
Yeah.
probably better adopt it then.
yeah, I think we better. Okay,
I would move we adopt the ISG CIP final draft, and include any corrections you may find that need to be made due to the late arrival today. I'll second.
okay. Is there any further discussion to that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We have the second reading of ordinance number 755 zoning. That's on page 4. And we do not have to read that again, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, is there any comments or anything to the ordinance? This was on our,
The ordinance was just to, address storage containers
yeah,
and out accessory buildings, correct?
that's correct.
Nothing
So,
further?
if not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
and we have a second. Any further discussion? Not, all in favor, say aye.
Roll call, please.
Huh?
It'll need a roll call vote
Oh,
because
roll
it's an
call.
ordinance.
Okay, all right. Then, I guess I don't have a roll call sheet. Okay. Okay. Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Alderman Price,
Aye.
Alderman Hargans,
Aye.
Alderman Auk,
Aye.
Alderman Gab.
Aye.
and I
Alderman
say
Harkins?
aye. Do I vote
Yes.
Yes.
on chairing? Okay, then I say aye. Okay, motion is carried. Okay. The next thing we have is new business, track skid steer loader rental on page 5. It's a John Deere rental agreement. Yeah, let's see. Patrick Price is on here.
I am. So this is the same thing that, the city had done with Titan last year.
Okay,
For a minimum of 100 hours at $15 engine hour. You can rent a skid steer that is dirt cheap in, what I feel is dirt cheap in the rental world. Because you just don't rent things, especially for that low. Clarification, I don't make any money on rentals. I'll still abstain, but I don't, there's no positive for me. It's just an option to spread some business around town.
okay. Sounds good.
And then the only thing that would be required is just approval from the council and then a copy of insurance that would be covered for insurance.
Okay.
Just the same as what's been done with Titan as well. I do believe Ron might be talking about doing a wheel loader with them as well this year, but
Okay,
there were some projects that they could use a skid steer on earlier. So
okay. All right,
that
And
would be a 325G, and that is small enough it doesn't have DEF fluid,
okay,
and that'd be a track skid steer.
okay.
So, any questions for me?
All right,
What's the time period, like when, like,
Around 9 months.
okay,
If they still need it, depending on how winters go and all that, we can just roll them into a new machine. But it's about 9 months and no more than 150 hours,
gotcha.
with a minimum of 100 hours
okay,
to be prepaid. 100 hours prepaid.
Yep.
But
Okay.
it's one of those deals where if it turns into, they can find all sorts of stuff to use for skid steer, it's not a big deal to roll into the next machine.
okay. Okay, any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the rental agreement
Okay,
for the John Deere.
we have a motion to
skid
approve.
steer.
Second.
Okay, and a second. Okay, any further comments? Not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I abstain from the vote.
Okay. Okay, number 2, Airport CIP, 2025 grant pre-applications. That's on 6 through 9. 6 through 9. All right,
This is our typical beginning of our process for our next project out at the airport. This first one is for the connector taxiway reconstruction and the access road rehabilitation. And the next one is for the pavement maintenance and design of the AWAS.
okay. Well, anybody have any questions on that?
Make a motion to approve the grant pre-applications.
Okay. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Resolution number 2025-11, surplus scrap property. That's on page 10. So I suppose we read that, huh?
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 2024-11. Be it resolved as follows. Whereas certain municipal property is no longer useful, necessary, or suitable for municipal purposes, whereas the municipal property items listed shall not be sold and must be scrapped, therefore be it resolved that the following municipal property be considered scrap and destroyed. Scrap. We have an LG desktop print computer, an HP, well, we have 1, 2, 3 desktop, HP desktop computers, Microfix desktop, hi. You want to start reading? Microfix desktop computer, Microfix desktop computer, Microfix. Do I gotta read each one of those, or
No,
can I
let's
just say?
1, 2, 3.
How many are there? There's 1, 2, 3,
12.
4, 5, 6,
12.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Microfix desktop computers. Microfix keyboard and mouse, HP keyboard, Microsoft keyboard, Victor adding machine, 4 office chairs. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 HP monitors, Acer LCD monitor, HP monitor, ViewSonic monitor, compact monitor, Samsung 19-inch TV, Scepter TV 32-inch, Canon printer, OfficeJet 6L780 printer, HP printer, Microsoft wireless ergonomic keyboard and mouse, Microsoft wireless keyboard and mouse, HP keyboard, compact keyboard, APC battery backup, Sharp adding machine, dated the 16th day of September 2024. And that is the resolution. And you want me to just turn this over to you now, Tom?
If you want, you sure can.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I asked Clayton Wordle if he'd like to come up and help out, fill in my chair, and then I could stay for coronation, and he kindly passed on the opportunity, but he got a big kick out of it. Anyway, thank you. Disposable surplus goods, which are found on page 11, according to South Dakota
Oh,
Code.
hold on.
Oh,
We need
where are
a motion to approve the resolution
Oh.
first. We're on number 3.
Yeah, I just got done reading it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I should have let you finish that out and stuff, so.
That's okay.
After reading the surplus items, entertain a motion for resolution number 2024-11 to approve the sale of the surplus property, scrap property, rather.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, we okay there for procurement of policy
Yep.
revision, which is found on page 11, disposal of surplus goods. In accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 6-13-1, the governing board may sell, trade, destroy, or otherwise dispose of any land, structures, equipment, or other property which such governmental board has, by appropriate motions, determined to be no longer necessary, useful, or suitable for the purpose for which it was acquired. No motion is required to sell, trade, or destroy, or otherwise dispose of consumable surplus, printed text, or subscription, okay? Solid waste or by products, recyclable materials, and scrap materials are exempt from the requirements of South Dakota Codified Law, Chapter 5-18A and 6-13, and shall be disposed of as provided in the resolution number 2014-5, and in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 34A-6-63.1.
And the reason I added this highlighted section is just to utilize what state law gives us the ability to do is to scrap metal without formally having to go to bid or sell it or anything of that nature.
And
So
I
this
think-
is just revising our current procurement policy.
Okay.
And I think information of that sort, sometimes we're asked questions to have that insight, you know, is good for, with regard to that. So, you know, thank you on that, so.
Make a motion to approve the revision of.
Second,
Okay. Have a motion and a second to approve the revision of the disposable property. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Opposed, no. Should have asked for, did I ask for discussion? No discussion, okay. On number 5, NECOG invoice number 213, $7,500, page 12. And this is for the Miller Phase 4 water improvement. First and final billing from NECOG.
This is for all their administrative work they've done so far and for the whole project for Phase 4.
Oh,
And it is reimbursable on the project funding.
good.
Make a motion that we pay invoice number 213, 7,500.
Second.
Discussion. Motion has been made and second to approve the NECOG invoice number 213 for $7,500. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Number 6 is building removal permit from Mark Nassers. It was a shed. Has that gone around? And
Must be in there.
I don't have it. Everything checks off. They're moving a shed from Miller to Sioux Falls.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
What's that, where's that property at?
It's Kelly Monker's old place.
Oh, that's
Oh, okay.
right down here then, right?
Yes,
Right
it's
over
her
there.
daughter's shed.
It's,
I know about where
it's
it's at.
Sailor's Shed.
A long ways to haul it.
Yeah.
Make a motion that we approve the removal permit.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the building permit of Mark Nassers to remove a shed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Did we forego the public input?
What we did is we opened it up, but then, we said that when you got here, you could make your comments.
Okay.
Yep.
This, I believe it was last week, group of mayors signed a letter in opposition to IM 28. And I did put my name on that, but let the record indicate, it's not that I'm opposed to not, you know, to taxing groceries or consumable goods. It's not that. It's just over the concern of the wording of the measure. It says consumable goods. It does not define what this consumable goods is. Besides that, the loss of the revenue created by IM 28 is going to be a financial undertaking of the state and also municipalities. And so that's, and with regard to that, what is there to replace it? There's nothing in place to do so. And so for the concern of the wording of the measure and the impact it's going to have on the city of Miller is why I express my opposition to the measure. Now, if something comes up again, which defines what consumable goods is, and then also how we're going to replace the revenue lost by that. I'm sure, and just for the record, some indicate, well, it only affects the state, not the cities. Yes, it does, because we are only allowed to impose a sales tax because the state has that power. So we piggyback off the power of the state to do so. And if the state is no longer allowed to tax consumable goods, nor as understood now, nor would the city. So again, not that I don't want to see some type of revision if need be, is there's just nothing to take its place you know, for that. So I could add a few, you know, kind of a few more things to that with regard to past things that was not defined before voters implemented it, and it, you know, kind of come back and not being carried through. I'll go back to the gaming measure, which with regard to when gaming was allowed in South Dakota, the education was supposed to get that, and, you know, and that didn't happen. So I wasn't going to say that part of it, but there is just a concern with regard to nothing in place to replace the revenue lost because of the IM-28. So,
I do believe if that thing does pass, it'll be in court the next day. But I don't think it will pass, but I gotta believe somebody is gonna take him to task on that, cause it's very, very poorly written.
Is this a time for public input?
Yes.
no, please.
I was at a meeting last month, where amongst other things, this, proposed law was discussed, and the law was read, and the various intricacies and exceptions were discussed. It's a poorly written law. Now, I am all for paying less taxes, but, I don't know that I lived in a place for 20 years that had effectively had a 10% sales tax on everything, including groceries. So the sales tax here, I don't consider to be that bad. But the way this thing has been presented is, and I thought it was, no sales tax on groceries, but it's human consumables. And if the explanation that I was given was alcohol and cigarettes and tobacco products would be taxed at the normal rate. But if legalized marijuana passes, then all the left-handed cigarettes that are sold in South Dakota will be tax-free because they're human consumables. This is just badly written.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that input. You know, there's one thing, and I'm not, you know, proponent for one way or another, but when I look at sales tax, one of the things I look at the number of visitors that pass through Miller and help contribute to our community by the purchases that they make, not only to our community, but also to the state. You know, help me if I'm wrong, but sometimes I look at that as outside individuals help fund, you know, Miller, South Dakota with regard to the purchases that they make here. So that's a less of a burden on residents of our community and also residents of our state. And with that, so I'll just leave it at that. So.
And if I may input, Tara over at On Hand has been in contact with the Retailers Association, and they are setting up a meeting at the end of this month to inform the public more about what this IM-28 is about.
Okay. All right, okay, moving on. Thank you.
I make a motion that we move into executive session, personal pursuant to SDCL 125(2)(1).
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You all have a good evening.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
You should have
You got
seen
to skip
Clayton. I
through
said,
them all.
Clayton, if you want to go up and take over as mayor, and I could stay here for, huh?
7:23.
Yeah,
That's fine. Nope, I set the date for tomorrow anyway, when I did the paperwork. So you can grab it tomorrow.